have to keep an eye on Brad May and the 9 machine starting just a little bit further back in the 7th position. He is someone that really could make his name known and would love the opportunity to beat the big stars here in the 58th annual Governor's Cup at New Smyrna Speedway. Green flag is out, and we are underway for the beach.
Atwell able to get the jump from the pole, slid up to kind of protect himself from Gorham there. Bottom lane on the move. Jesse Dutilli on the inside in the 30, trying to get by the 10 of Gorham, the outside front row starter, while Atwell leads the first lap. And Dutilli is by for second. William Byron now working the low side on the 24.
That allowed Nasse to close up on him. Gorham will slide up top. Ruggiero has the opportunity to go underneath. Gorham will try the roll the momentum on corner exit. Ruggiero tries to pinch. They, I think, made contact once again on the entry to turn 1. Gorham doesn't want to give up the track position. Ruggiero wants all of it down the backstretch.
We've seen that so many times between these two on the front straightaway as they come to 3. Now Ruggiero's got the lane. Can Nasse fill the hole on the bottom? Ruggiero makes the pass. Nasse has a fender inside maybe as they go to the first corner. And they also kick Gorham up to that second group to maybe lose one more spot. Ruggiero is through. Nasse and Gorham side by side now for 5th.
Stephen Nasse with a big drive into turn 3 to clear Gorham on corner entry and lock down the position for himself. So Nasse now back in the top 5 for the first time this afternoon since he started from the rear, had power steering issues, had to replace the steering pump before we even took the green flag. What happened with Stephen Nasse as the crew works on that car? We'll get a good look here from our speed shot right next to the start finish line is what happened to Jonathan Lee, and he just got sideways off of the exit of turn 4 as they came back to the green flag. I couldn't tell whether or not pace car will pull off. Atwell will be in control of this. Will it be a cleaner restart this time around? Everybody back up to the gears and back up to speed at New Smyrna. Atwell, Byron, door to door once again, and look at William Byron take Atwell 3 ride. Dutilli on the inside to get second away as Byron goes to the race lead for the first time this afternoon.
Byron made the top side work. Contact for 3rd. That's Atwell getting run up high by Gio Ruggiero in the battle for the 3rd spot. Hey, down the back straightaway into turn 3. There's some of that battling that we're seeing as we got a car in trouble and up and into the wall. That's the 58 car that we were watching in that fight, and up and into the fence is that of Michael Goddard.
Goddard goes around in turn 3. Yellow flag comes out for the 5th time, and
Cisco gives way to the top runners, and trouble right in front of the leaders, and that's Hennick, who is backed into the wall in turn 1. And Dutilli almost caught him there in the left front.
Oh, that was really close, and they were racing tight amongst that group. There were a lot of people there. Johnny Aramendia was there, Ryan Herbert was there, Michael Goddard was there, and Trent Hennick was just sort of in and amongst that bunch. He was working on a different lap than everybody else, but there, I think, was contact between Hennick and another car, and that set Hennick up the racetrack, and heavy rear-end damage to Hennick's machine. The NASCAR roots go and make the NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series go as all of a sudden Gio Ruggiero has pulled down and stopped in the bottom of turns 3 and 4. The yellow flag will come immediately back out. Problems for Gio Ruggiero here near the halfway point of the 58th Governor's Cup.
And we were just about to size up the fact this was going to be the first time that Byron had Ruggiero on his inside for the restart. And he immediately has come down the pit lane, and they're going right to the left rear tire, which they had worked on under the last caution. Trying to see what may be a miss on that number 22 car. Initial thought would be maybe a loose wheel on that car, but they're checking pretty much the entire rear end of that vehicle.
That was my first thought, too. Maybe a loose lug nut on that number 22.
India inside of row 3. Let's try it again. William Byron leads us down for the restart.
Byron and Atwell, absolute dead even restart almost. So Atwell will have a car. Oh, look at Byron slide up the racetrack. And Jesse Dutilli shot through the middle to take that top spot. And the first spot on the outside lane to the outside of Atwell. He goes Jesse Dutilli to the point on lap 91.
Byron overcooked the corner. Now he's back to 3rd, maybe 4th, as Atwell tries to fight back on the inside of Dutilli, who goes to the front. Now he runs wide in 1 and 2. Atwell back to the pound.
National level, the Xfinity Series, and he spins over in turn 1 and 2, and the yellow flag will come out once again. He just lost it there over on the entry. I think he got loose there, but he goes around. Yellow flag comes out.
Yeah, but another car went into the wall just behind him. That was John Kaufman, who just went a 4th lap down. Makes me wonder if there may have been something on the racetrack, unless Kaufman may have gotten on the binders a little bit too hard. Pretty much mirrored the impact that Love had up towards the outside wall.
Love, I don't think, got the wall, but Kaufman, as you can see on your screens, clearly was not so fortunate.
Just as we were outlining all of the angles of the Jesse Love story in this race, he spins out of a top 5 spot, about 17 laps shy of the 3/4 distance mark of this race. Here's how it happened.
Love, to his credit, recognized that he was going around and kept in the throttle to keep that car out of the wall. Did a really nice job of keeping the Donnie Wilson machine.
Nasse has worked his way from the back of the field twice so far this afternoon, but he has yet to lead this race, maybe until now, as he looks to the bottom in turn 1.
Not wasting any time. He gets Jesse Dutilli up the racetrack a little bit. Stephen Nasse there to the bottom, and the fans at New Smyrna clapping, cheering, pumping fists, getting on their feet as their local driver takes the race lead. Everybody here in the crowd up in the stands as Stephen Nasse goes to the bottom, and Stephen Nasse will try and finish this off in turn 2. He does. New leader, the number 51 for Anthony Campi Racing. It's Stephen Nasse.
He was 9/1000ths of a second short of having the lead a lap ago. Dutilli tried to fight back to the bottom to cross over, but to the crowd's approval, Stephen Nasse leads this race for the first time with 57 laps to go. It's so quick on the outside of that second row. 17 laps to settle the Governor's Cup. Here we go.
Nasse, Byron rolling back to speed here at New Smyrna. Nasse with that good run up high. What does Jesse Dutilli do? Right on the rear bumper. Sergi got a little bit loose there. Contact there with Dutilli, and that'll allow Nasse and Byron to sneak away just a bit as Byron sends it in deep on Stephen Nasse, who tries to pinch the NASCAR Cup Series star down on the bottom as they come back to the stripe.
Nasse by half a car length, the leader, as they got to the line that time through, trying to pin him down. Contact behind them. Dutilli up the racetrack, and the champion, May, spins in turn 2.
Brad May spins around. Caution is back out. Caution number 10 here at New turns 1 and 2. Let's take a look at the line that he runs right on the rear bumper of Stephen Nasse. Didn't look to go high, didn't look to go low until he got to the back straightaway, trying to draw even. He'll get the car inside of Nasse once again and slide up the racetrack and maybe, just maybe, force Nasse out of the way for the race lead.
Side by side at the line. Byron the leader by inches that time. 5 to go and they come back around. Byron trying to run Nasse up the hill on corner exit, but Nasse fights back on the outside.
Byron got loose down the back straightaway. That allowed Nasse to pull ahead by a hood length. They bounce off of each other. There's contact there for sure. And all of a sudden, look at Anthony Sergi right here in the mix.
Several members in the crowd have come to their feet here as we are now 5 laps away from settling the Governor's Cup at New Smyrna. Nasse
won the heart-to-heart. He's won the Red Eye. He's won the Clyde Hart Memorial. He's now won the Governor's Cup. Byron's off the pace now.
Byron, the second fastest, or maybe one of the fastest cars here, has pulled down low at a second spot.
He has tried 12 times to win this race. In his 13th attempt, Stephen Nasse now 1 lap away from finally claiming the Governor's Cup as the fans are on their feet at New Smyrna.
A power steering issue was not going to deny him. An issue with the right front tire was not going to deny him. Who would have thought it would have taken him more than 12 tries to win this race? It's going to happen today. Stephen Nasse is a Florida Governor's Cup winner.